This is for you. God has a place for everyone in our church, and you're needed to help us get this done. Now I'm holding up a picture of my family. Take a look. This is me and my family on our oldest daughter's wedding day, Katie, when she got married. And what I love about this picture is every time I look at it, it makes me feel so good. It gives me some sort of encouragement and strength, identity. You know why? Because I belong. I belong to this group of people, and they love me and accept me no matter what, and I'm part of their lives. All of us are created that way. We long to be that. As we make this new strategy change and become better and better at reaching people to make disciples who make disciples, you have a place like that too, where it's you belong like part of the family, and you get loved and accepted just the way you are, and you could become a valuable part. So I want to help just by going basically over the 4 steps briefly, and then helping you zero in on one of these areas where you feel like you can connect or be involved or become really part of that process the most. And then you can choose that video and select and go zero down and see what's involved and what's needed and help us find you where you can fit. Okay, so again, we're going to have this 4-step strategy to help people get involved in the mission of our church to make disciples who make disciples, accomplish our mission. And the 4 things are basically this, the 4 steps. Steps 1 is connect. This is an area, if you're interested in this kind of area, that really helps us in our first impression with people. When they first come, from the time we greet them in our greeting ministry to their initial 10 minutes of experience and learning about, are we a friendly church or not? Do they care about me or not? Am I really going to give this church a chance to kind of know who I am, or for me to get to know them? All the way to the discussion of where do I stand with Jesus Christ, with the gospel, with my own relationship with God, and then does that fit? Is there a place for me at Venture Church? How do I find that? That whole series of little mini steps is called the Connect step. And there's a lot of ways that you can help in that area. We're going to be building an incredible first impressions team. And we're going to put on this whole next step experience. All that's part of that. Maybe that's something that you're interested in. Step 2. Step 2 is a really important part as well. That's where we become change makers. Step 2 is change maker, a volunteer. That's where somebody has connected now with the church, and the next step is, where do I fit in to serve, to become a volunteer? And the thing is it's so important because in Acts 2:47, God says that He added to the church daily those that were being saved. And that word added is so cool. We're going to be looking at that over the next couple of weeks, the couple of weeks running just up to the launch on September 9th. But anyway, it's the idea that every single person has a place, and that place helps the body be better, be more effective, just perfectly fit for them. And so we're going to help people find their place. Everyone has a place, and then we're going to do lots to develop volunteers, to show them appreciation, to be able to retain volunteers, that they can grow in their ministry and become leaders themselves. But there's a lot of things behind the scenes that we do to help people who are serving as volunteers somewhere, anywhere in the church, to know that they're valued and appreciated. And maybe that's an area that lights your fire, that you'd like to help and serve in. Step 3 is community, and that's our life groups. There's no other way to say it but this. Every single person at some point needs to take the step of joining or starting a life group, so that we can get together in small groups in community and learn to wrestle with this. Okay, how do I be a follower of Jesus now? What does that Bible mean for me right here and right now? And let's do that together. Okay, so we're going to be starting new life groups. We're going to begin offering in September 9th what I call a free market system of life groups. That means we won't demand or dictate that every life group follows the same pattern, do the discussion group based on the sermon study and answer these questions. Those might be an option, but we're also going to let people start life groups around other causes. Maybe it's just purely a Bible study verse by verse. Maybe it's a video series. Maybe it's a Harley Davidson group where it's built on this affinity that people have of Harleys, and they get together and they go through the scripture together and go on Harley rides, or parents of young preschoolers or widows or moms, dads. If you can think of a group of people who might want to gather together and learn to follow Jesus together, then we can start a life group based on that affinity, that cause. So we'll be doing a lot to develop and encourage our leaders, and to keep some very simple but clear guidelines for our life groups as well. Maybe you're interested in that step, in that area of ministry. And then step 4, the last one, is our compassion ministry. And that is where we are really going to begin organizing our efforts to partner with successful, both local and global efforts to help and serve people. that's from worldwide mission efforts, building wells, disaster relief, world hunger, orphans in our own town, homeless, sick people, single moms, school children, parents, teachers, you name it. If there's somebody out in the community where we can connect with them and serve them, we're going to be organizing efforts to begin giving people a place to serve. So that's step 4. Now, one of these areas, let me help you find a pathway to see where you can help the most. One of those 4 areas, those 4 steps, when I talked about it, got your attention. You thought, I like that. That's not really been done very well before. And if we can do that well, that's really going to help us. You see, somewhere it connected, it resonated with you. You thought to yourself, oh, I'm very interested in that part. Or, hey, that would be cool. I just like doing that. If I could become good at that, I feel like I could really become part of something. So which part did you like? Which part grabbed your attention, your interest level? Now, it's either step 1, 2, 3, or 4. Whichever one it is, go to the next video based on that particular step. So it was Changemaker, that idea of developing volunteers and really helping retain them and encourage them that they're valued, and putting together some ministry to help them. That really lights my fire. That's something I'm interested in. Okay, so now go to the Changemaker video and watch more about that and see how you can help, or whichever one of those 4 steps. Okay, see you there.